Welcome to the premiere episode of Panther News. I'm Lane Normand.
And I'm Miles Vollmer.
Today we are starting with an in-depth interview with Mr. Coddaire.
With him starting his second year at BHS, Jake and Michael had some questions to ask about his experience so far.
Hello, I'm Jake Dalbon.
I'm Michael Bruck.
And we're joined here today by Mr. Coddaire. You all know him. Mr. Coddaire, thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to start off with what are you most looking forward to at BHS this year?
So, as you guys know, something that I'm looking forward to doing. Last year I had the junior class, and my thoughts are that it's going to be a lot more fun working with you guys as you culminate the end of your school experiences. And for me, it's year 2, so I've gotten to know a lot of you a lot better. So it's a lot easier second year here than last year where I knew barely how to get around the building.
Speaking of last year, what do you feel you did well, or the school did well last year, and what would you change if you could?
Sure, I think the school itself is an incredible community of people that really do care about themselves. Sure, there are some people out there making poor decisions, but in the grand scheme of things, the entire Beverly Panthers, high school is an incredible place to be, where you have teachers, students, other community members all coming together for one thing. The programs and the resources that Beverly High School has is something that I've never experienced before in my educational career, and it was just a joy being a part of that last year. So for me, adding to that is my challenge, and really trying to find where my role is in all of that, and that's what I've been doing over the last couple of years.
Is the mustache here to stay?
Absolutely.
That is a great question. The truth be told, I took a trip to Colorado, did not shave the entire trip, and came back and decided to keep some facial hair around. There have been many comments made. I cannot give a definitive yes or no if it's going to stick around or not. But for right now, it is what it is.
Yeah, right.
Was there anybody who maybe inspired you when you came back to not shave?
No, there's no one that inspired me not to shave when I came back.
Just kind of on a whim type thing?
Instead, being in Colorado, visiting family out there, the way it is, I kind of embraced that as much as I could.
Got a little bit of like a wilderness.
Yeah, a little bit of a Rocky Mountain wilderness type of vibe that my family that's out there.
Yeah, so I guess maybe not a person that inspired you, but definitely maybe the state.
The state, yes, the state of being. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I've heard that you used to be a social studies teacher.
Correct.
And how was your experience from being a social studies teacher? Like, what lessons did you learn from teaching that brought over to?
Great. So it was teaching and coaching, a lot of that. But the teaching the things that I learned in the classroom is that a teacher has an incredible impact on a student and can do incredible things. And it's not just about the subject matter that they're teaching, but instead their interactions and their positive relationships that they develop, and how important that is to a child's well-being and what they'll remember for the rest of their lives about people who care about them. I look through the school system here and I see so many teachers that care about the students at Beverly High, and it's just great to work with those types of people. For me, it was just like, how do I get to work with more people? And as a coach, I was working with a large group of people as well, but I wanted to do more. So getting into administration was that next avenue for me to work with as many students as possible.
Yeah.
On average per day, how much time are you spending maintaining your mustache? Do you got the shave butter? Do you got the trimmer? Or are you just kind of going willy-nilly at it?
There's no maintenance during the day. It's actually very low maintenance, Jake. Probably every couple days I might trim it.
That's surprising because it's looking pretty clean.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right. And
at your time at Beverly High School, what has surprised you the most?
Surprised me the most? Okay, so again, coming from another school district that I've been in there for about 11 years, probably the most I've learned is that kids are kids no matter where they are. And that just because I was in a previous school district and that change, I've learned that once I get to know the individuals like yourselves, you guys are just like any other kid no matter where you are. And you could be in a different state, but you're kids, you're learning, you're adapting, and you really just want to know that people care about you and people want to see you be successful in the future, but also know that you might trip up along the way, and when you do, somebody's there to support you.
Speaking of surprises, we have a little surprise for you. We're actually going to have a little segment called Rate That Stash.
Okay.
So we have a bunch of famous people. They all have mustaches. We're going to ask you to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10.
All right, where am I looking at? Your computer?
My computer right here.
All right.
All right, we got number 1. We have Hulk Hogan.
That is the ultimate Fu Manchu right there. I'd have to give that a probably, with the handlebars there, that's probably a good 7.
7. Ooh.
Wow.
Damn, I would have given that a 10.
Okay.
To be honest. Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury is the legend. No one pulled off the mustache like him. I think that's got to be higher than Hulk Hogan. It's iconic, if you will. Amazon has a commercial. If you see, it's just a face with a mustache, and everyone knows who it is. I'd have to go an 8 with that one.
All right, climb it up. Let's see if we can.
The Anchorman.
The Anchorman, Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy, again, an iconic figure. Will Ferrell plays that character to a T, but I can't put him above, so I'd probably go with another 7.
A 7
Can't
again.
Can't go above Freddie Mercury.
All right.
I'm waiting. Borat, huh?
Borat.
Borat, I'm going to go lower on the totem pole with him. We're probably going to go a 5 there.
5 for Borat. Oh, that's really low.
Sorry.
We have Michael Cera.
That's probably the worst mustache I've ever seen. I hope mine's better than that. Probably a 2.
You know what? He's a 2 on the face, but a 10 in the heart.
Okay.
All right. We have Julian Edelman.
That is something.
Huge Pats fan. He just goes on and on with that facial hair towards the playoffs. I'll go 9 with that.
9. There we go. That's what we were looking for.
Yep. Yeah.
And the last one, Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil.
Caught you off guard a little bit.
Yeah, you did. I
got
don't
you.
know where to
I know
go
you
with
weren't
that.
expecting that one.
Sure. 6 with Dr. Phil.
6 with
because-
Dr. Phil. All right. Heated. We're getting heated in here, but you know, that's all the time we have for today. Mr. Coddaire, I'd like to thank you very much.
Jake, my pleasure.
For coming in.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for having me.
Thank you very much.
Now for an exciting segment with varsity coach Morency to see the latest on the Beverly football team this season. We go to Emmanuel with this exclusive interview.
So, Mr. Morency, I got a few questions for you.
Sure.
My first question being, what do you guys feel like you need to work on most to prepare for the next game?
It's a great question. You know, we have Marblehead coming up, and they're really good. And we're coming off a tough loss where we played hard, but we just came up short. So I think for us, it's kind of cleaning up the little things, going back to basics a little bit, and certainly getting healthy. We've had some injuries, and every team deals with it, but we're dealing with it. So hopefully we can focus on the basics and get some guys back and, you know, kind of get back on track. So,
All right.
yeah.
Next question being, how has it been overall working with this team this year compared to the previous year?
Another great question. This team is, you know, I always have great kids at Beverly, it seems, but this team, I think, exceptionally stands out to me. They have such high character guys. Our captains, they're just great guys, great kids. They lead by example.
What is your biggest goal for your team by the end of this year?
You know, you always want to have a winning season. I think wins and losses do matter at the high school level, but I do want these kids to have a positive experience that they can remember. And by that, I mean, you know, obviously winning will be a part of that to some degree, but certainly the way we coach them up, the way they practice the games, the fun of it, you know, make it more fun maybe than sometimes it can be, because you got to work hard and there's a lot to it. But certainly this year we have our goals to win, but winning is not everything. It is the experience itself.
How has it been overall coaching at Beverly High, and how would you compare it to your coaching years at Hamilton Ware?
You know, I tell you, this is kind of homes where the heart is, so to speak, and I love it here at Beverly. I feel very lucky to have this opportunity. You know, Hamilton One was a great place, and I met great people, lifelong friends coaching there. But Beverly is just another level. From Herd Stadium to the kids themselves, to the size of the program and who we play. It's just, for me, it's kind of culmination of a lifetime of dedication to football, and being back in Beverly, I feel very grateful to be here.
All right, and my final question, what's it like just being a coach in general? Like, not even only at Beverly, but, you know, in general, like from where you started and up to now, what is it?
It's a lot of work. I mean, I got to tell you, it's very much a labor of love. You don't get paid a ton of money. It's about what you do to help the kids go on to be successful. You know, a lot of our guys at Hamilton and at Beverly gone on to play college, and to be a small piece of helping kids go on to do greater things beyond the football field is really a kind of a motivation of why you coach. So it's a lot of hard work, and any coach will tell you that it's worth it, but you got to be willing to sacrifice.
Good luck with your season,
I
Coach.
appreciate it.
Our last segment today is a look at one of the many clubs here at BHS, Aegis. The literary magazine has been around for over 20 years. Here's Paris with an inside look.
I'm Emily Rosenberg. I'm a senior at BHS. I've been doing Beverly High School Aegis since my freshman year, and I've been an editor since my freshman year. We put there's a lot of poetry, and there's a lot of prose, which is like fiction, and some people will write really short fiction. We also put in photography and paintings and sketches, and so it's not just like a literary magazine, it's also a literary and art magazine. I think that's where some people get confused, because it's not just writing, it's also art. It's very welcoming. We have people of all types that come to the club on Thursdays. There's, people like to say it's kind of like a mixture of the GSA and writing club. Like, we have a very diverse group, and you don't really have, it's not like if you come to Aegis you have to write or you have to make art. You can just come to hang out or make friends. I know, there's just nothing, I feel like there's just nothing in the school that's like so cool and open to letting people express themselves, and letting people connect with each other through their art and through their words.
And that's our show. We thank you very much for your viewership and appreciate your support.
See you next time on Panther News 22.